Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We have to start from page 92 of my book. Please check your books. I don't know which publisher you people are using. So it's like the last thing we did was Prospero's speech. Act 1, Scene 2. That is Prospero tells Caliban how he is going to torture and what all pains and cramps he'll suffer during the night for disobedience of his instructions. So now what does Caliban do? He says, no, Brady, I must aside. Aside means wherever it is written aside, it means the character is moving to one corner of the stage and then he is uttering these dialogues. Means it is believed that the rest of the characters who are present on stage, they are not listening. Right? So Caliban moves to one corner, moves away from Prospero, and then what does he say? He says, I must obey. His art is of such power. It would control my dame's god, Sisyphus, and make a vassal of him. So what does it mean? Caliban says, oh Brady. So now Caliban is scared. He's frightened and he says, oh, I request you, I beg of you, please, please don't subject me to all this torture. Right? Please don't torment me. And then he moves to one corner and he says that I know, I am well aware of his art. I know how powerful his magic is. That his magic is so powerful, Prospero's magic is so powerful that it would control my dame's god, Sisyphus. Sisyphus was the god. You can say the devil god who was worshipped by Sycorax. Right? Sycorax, Caliban's mother, worshipped Sisyphus. Right? So that is what he says, that his magic, Prospero's magic is so powerful that he can control even Sisyphus. So who am I in front of him? He will definitely give me severe cramps and severe pains. So it is better that I obey his instructions, I follow his commands so that I am safe from this trouble and make a vassal of him. Vassal means servant. So his magic is so powerful that he can even tame Sisyphus and make him his servant. Prospero is capable of doing this, and Caliban is aware of this ability or this power of Prospero. That is why he says, that is why he agrees to obey and he asks for pardon. He begs for pardon. Prospero. So slave, hence. So slave, hence means, so now you are making sense, you slave. Now you go away and obey my instruction. Hence means go away, get lost from here and do the job which has been assigned to you. Exit Caliban. Re-enter Ariel, invisible, playing and singing. Ferdinand following. So now Ariel re-enters again, and you remember what was he supposed to do? He was supposed to transform himself into a nymph, right? And then Prospero gave him some instructions, whispered some instructions into his ears. Why did he do so? Because Miranda was standing there, right? And Prospero didn't want Miranda to hear those things which he was saying to Ariel. So that is why he whispered certain things into the ears of Ariel. And what was Ariel supposed to do? He was supposed to disguise himself into a nymph. Right? So now being transformed as a nymph, he re-enters and then he goes to the place where Ferdinand is sitting. What is Ferdinand doing? He's mourning the death of his father. Right? He's still crying on his father's death. And what does Ariel do? Ariel sings a song. And this is Ariel's song which is given. Ariel song. Come unto these yellow sands and then take hands, curtsy when you have, and kiss the wild waves whilst. Footed feetly here and there, and sweet spirits the burden bear. Hark, hark. Burden dispersely within bow wow, the watchdogs bark. Burden dispersely within bow wow, hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. cry cock-a-doodle-doo, right? So this is the song of Ariel. What is the meaning of this song? Come unto these yellow sands. Come to these golden sands. Means Ariel is trying to, you can say he is trying to attract Ferdinand, right? You will come to know later on why is Ariel singing and attracting Ferdinand towards itself, right? Because he wants Ferdinand to reach a certain place, right? So that is why Ariel is singing a song. Come unto these yellow sands. So this is the meaning of the song. Come to these golden sands. Come, follow me to these golden sands, and then take hands. And then we'll walk hand in hand. Take hands means we'll walk hand in hand. Curtsy when you have and kiss. And then when you have bowed and when you have kissed, then what will happen? Then the wild waves wills. Then this wills means silent, right? Stillness, calm down. Then what will happen? Once you have curtsied means once you have bowed and once you have kissed, then what will happen? Then these stormy waves, they will calm down. Then these wild waves of the sea, they will calm down. They'll become silent. They'll be silent after that. Put it featly here and there. Put it featly means you have to dance skillfully here and there. Means all over the place you are going to dance skillfully. And sweet spirits the burden there. Burden, what is the meaning of burden? Burden is, here the meaning of burden is refrain. Refrain or the chorus of the song. Right? It's almost an obsolete word. We don't use it these days. But whenever a burden is used with reference to a song, it means the chorus of the song. Right? So, and sweet spirits the burden bear. So these sweet spirits, these delicate spirits, these fine spirits, they are singing the burden. Means they are singing the chorus of the song. Hark, hark. Hark means listen. So listen carefully. Listen carefully to what these spirits are singing. Burden dispersely within. Bow, wow. And then again, that chorus is heard by Ferdinand. And then after that, he again starts singing. Bow, wow. Watchdogs bark. So these are the lines of the song. Watchdogs are barking. And how are they barking? Bow, wow. Burden dispersely within. And again, that same chorus. What is the chorus of the song? Come unto these yellow sands and take that, and then take hands. This is the chorus. So again, that is repeated, right? And then the next stanza is bow wow, hark hark I hear, hark hark. Listen listen, I'm listening. The strain of strutting, chanticleer. What is the chanticleer? It's a cock, right? So I am listening. What am I listening? I am listening to the strain of strutting. Strutting means very arrogant, someone who is very proud of himself. So I'm listening to the strutting chanticleer. Means I'm listening to the sound of this cock, sound which is made by this cock. Cry cock-a-doodle-doo. This is the sound which is made by that cock. You need not worry much about the song. They never ask you to write the song, or they never ask anything about the song. Right? So the cock which is singing proudly, and how is the cock singing? It is singing cock-a-doodle. Now Ferdinand is worried. He's surprised. You can say why? Because he's only able to listen to the song, right? With no one being physically present around, right? When he heard the song, he started looking here and there, and he could see no one, right? There was no one present in physical form around him. So he is kind of shocked. What does he say? Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? It sounds no more. And sure, it waits upon some god of the island. So he says, where should this music be? I'm unable to understand from where this music is coming, right? Who is playing this music, right? Is it in the air or the earth? Means, is this music coming from the air or is it coming from the earth? It sounds no more. Sounds no more means now it has stopped. So Ariel sings for some time and then it stops. Then again it starts singing. After some time, again stops. So Now Ferdinand says that now it has stopped. And I am very sure that there must be some god of this island, the deity, the god of this island. This music must be played for that deity or for that god only. Sitting on the bank, weeping again, the king, my father's death. This music crept by me upon the water, allaying both the fury and my passion. So he says that when I was sitting by the bank, when I was sitting on the shore, what happened? When I was sitting on the shore and weeping and mourning the death of my father, what happened at that time? This music somehow started playing. I don't know. I'm completely oblivious of the source of this music. I don't have any idea, right? Who started playing this music? This music crept by me. Crept by me means this music passed by me, right? Upon the waters means I could hear this music coming from the waves of the sea, because he was sitting on the shore. So I heard this music pass by me when I was sitting on the shore and crying over my father's death, allaying both their fury and my passion. And what was the effect? What was the impact of this music? This music allayed means it calmed down. It relaxed both the fury of the sea, that is the storm of the sea, it was calmed down, and my passions means that my sorrow was also, my suffering was also lessened by this music. Right? Means I also felt peaceful. I also felt relaxed on listening to this music, and it had a similar impact on the sea also. The sea was also calmed down because of this music. With its sweet air. With its sweet air means because of its sweet tune which it was played. This music was so sweet that it calmed down both the sea and calmed my passions also. Thence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather. What is gone? No.
Ma'am, Kritika Dua is raising.
So, thence I have followed it. So, Ferdinand says that since that time, right, when I was sitting on the shore, I heard this music. The impact of the music was that the sea was calmed down, and I also felt a bit peaceful. I also felt a bit relaxed because of this music. It calmed my passions also, and since that time, I have been following it, right? Thence I have followed it, or it has drawn me rather. Or to be more precise, to be more accurate, I didn't follow it. This music attracted me, right? When you are attracted towards something, it means that you are forced to follow it, right? So this is what Ferdinand says, that I didn't follow it willingly, right? Rather, I was forced to follow it. I was so much attracted towards this music that I lost control over myself and started following this music. But is gone. But now it has stopped. But this means it is, right? There's an apostrophe there, so it means it is. But it is gone. Now I can hear it no longer. No, it begins again. And then all of a sudden the music is heard by him again. And so he says, no, the music has again started playing. I told you, this is what Ariel is doing, right? He stops the music for some time and then again starts playing it. So you can say that Ferdinand is completely mesmerized, completely spellbound by this music, by this sweet tune which is being played by Ariel. Then Ariel sings again. Ariel sings, full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs Ali ring his neck. So this, then Ariel again starts singing this song. This is also a song, and then it tells Ferdinand about his father. This is what Ariel is telling Ferdinand about his father. Full fathom 5 thy father lies. Fathom means it's a unit of length, right? Normally the depth of the sea is measured. in this unit. So he says that full fathom 5 fathoms deep within the sea your father is lying. Means your father is drowned and he is lying 5 fathoms deep within the sea. Of his bones are coral, and his bones have been transformed into coral. Coral is a substance like rock, right? It's made of the, you can say, small creatures when they die, right? So their bones, they make that. Coral islands, you know, coral reef is there, right? So it is made of the bones of those small creatures which they, when they die. So this is what Ariel is telling Ferdinand, that the bones of your father have been transformed into coral, right? Those are pearls that were his eyes. And what happened to his eyes? His eyes have been transformed into pearls. His eyes have become pearls now. Nothing of him that doth feel. So there is no part of him, no part of his body is wasted, has faded, right? Or no part of his body has become useless, right? But doth suffer a sea change. Sea change means transformation. So Ariel says that no part of his body has faded, no part of his body has gone waste. Instead, what has happened? His entire body has suffered a sea change, has gone transformation, and now it has become something rich and strange. Strange means rare. Pearls are something which are rare, right? You cannot find it everywhere. True pearls are not found easily. So this is what Ariel says, that the entire body of your father has undergone a sea change and now it has been transformed. Every part of his body has been transformed into something which is very rich, which is very valuable, and which is very rare. Sea nymphs Ali ring his knell. Knell means the death bell, right? So what are these doing? The sea nymphs. Nymphs, I told you what is the nymph? Nymphs are the spirits which live near the sea. So what do the sea nymphs do? They are now ringing his funeral bell. Death knell means the funeral bell, right? So every hour his funeral bell is being rung by these sea nymphs. This is the meaning of the song. Burden within, ding dong. And then again, burden, I told you the meaning of burden is chorus. Then again the chorus is played and ding dong. Ha, now I hear them, ding dong bell. So now Ferdinand is able to listen. So he says, yes, yes, and now I can listen the sound of those bells, because Ariel starts playing the sound of those funeral bells also. And so Ferdinand is able to hear them. And Ferdinand says, yes, yes, now I can listen to those sounds, the sounds of the bell. Ferdinand, the ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth moves. So Ferdinand says, ditty means song. This song does remember. Again, here the meaning of remember is remind. So this song reminds me of my drowned father. My father who has died now by drowning. So this song is reviving my memory about my father. So this is no mortal business. And I'm very sure that this sound, the sound of this song, it cannot be produced by anything which is human. Mortal business means it is something which a human being cannot produce. This is beyond human capability to sing such a song. So I am sure that this music is not being produced by some human being, because this is no mortal business. Mortal here means human business. So this is something which is beyond the capabilities of human beings, nor no sound that the earth. Forget about human being. This sound was not even earthly. This sound was not even terrestrial. That is belonging to the earth, right? This was something which was very divine, which cannot be produced by this earth. It is not possible to, and it is not possible for any human being to sing in such a tune. I hear it now above me, and now I can hear that song being played just above me, just over his head. Means Ariel must be dancing over his head. As you know that Ariel is invisible to everyone. This is what Prospero asked him to do? That you have to be invisible to everyone except yourself and except whom? Prospero, right? So Ariel is not visible to Ferdinand. So now Ariel must be over his head and singing from there. So Ferdinand says, I hear it now above me. So I am able to listen that song coming from over my head. Prospero. The fringed curtains of thine eye advance and say what thou seest. So now, are you able to understand why Ariel played the music? See, Ariel played the music and he mesmerized Ferdinand, and Ferdinand was forced to follow Ariel and come to the place where Prospero and Miranda are present, right? Because what will happen? Because Prospero wants Ferdinand to fall in love with Miranda, and vice versa, and he wants Miranda also to fall in love with Ferdinand. This is Prospero's plan. That is why Ariel was asked to disguise himself into a nymph and then go to the place where Ferdinand is sitting and crying and force him to come to the place where Miranda is present. So now Prospero asks Miranda. These lines are spoken by Prospero to Miranda. He says the fringed curtains. What are the fringed curtains? The fringed curtains here means the eyelashes. The fringed curtains of thine eyes advance. So Prospero asks Miranda to lift up those eyelashes and say what thou seest yon. Yon means yonder. Yonder means there. So, and tell me what are you able to see there in front of your eyes. Please lift up your eyelashes, open your eyes, take a look and tell me what are you able to see, right? Means unveil your eyes. These eyelashes are the veils of the eyes. No? So please unveil your eyes and tell me what are you able to see there in front of your eyes. Miranda, what's it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit. So now imagine the condition of Miranda. Miranda has never seen a human being except Prospero, right? She lived on that island with Prospero and Caliban. Caliban was very ugly, right? He didn't even have a proper human form, half animal, half human, right? So obviously, Caliban was not able to attract Miranda. And the second human being which Miranda saw on the island was Prospero, who was her father, old gray-haired man, right? And now what happens when she sees Ferdinand for the first time? Then it's very difficult for her to believe that the person who is standing in front of her eyes is human. So Miranda is kind of shocked. And then she says, what is this? What is this in front of my eyes? A spirit? This definitely is a spirit. Lord, how it looks about. Just look at the way, see, Ferdinand is also new to that island, right? So when you are new to a place, what do? And you are walking, right? Some land which is like completely unknown to you. How will you do? You will walk looking here and there, right? Trying to figure out the things, trying to figure out your surrounding. So Ferdinand must be walking in this manner only, looking here and there, completely lost, right? And then simply following the music which is played by Ariel. So he said, Miranda said, Lord, how it looks about. Look at the way he is looking around here and there. So he seems to be such wonderstruck. He seems to be so surprised and shocked. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form. Miranda says, I trust me, sir, trust me, father. It carries a brave form. Means it has the most beautiful form. It has the most noble appearance. Right? Miranda is addressing Ferdinand as it. Why? Because she believes that Ferdinand is not a human being. Ferdinand is a spirit. So that is why she says that, trust me, this definitely is some angel. He seems to be some spirit. Look at the way he is looking here and there. And he has got such a beautiful form. He appears to be such a beautiful creature. He has such noble appearance, but it is a spirit. And so I can say it's like not possible for any human being to be so handsome, so good looking. And so I can say that he is a spirit. Prospero. No wench, it eats and sleeps and has some such senses as we have. Such. So Prospero says, wench means a young girl. Right? So Prospero says, no girl, no my girl. It sleeps, it eats, and have the same senses like we have. Right? So Prospero is trying to convince Miranda that no, he is not a spirit, he is not some angel, he is as much a human being as we are. He is a normal human being like us. This challenge, thou seest.
Uh,
No wench, it eats and sleeps and has such senses. So it has the same senses, the same sense organs like any of us. So he is as much as a human as we are. This challenge which thou seest was in the wreck. This youth, this fine young man which you are seeing in front of your eyes, was in the shipwreck. Means was on board the same ship which wrecked, which you saw being destroyed in the sea. And but he's something stained with green. That's beauty's canker. So, but he appears to be a little beauty's canker means he appears to be a little unwell, he appears to be a little pale. And what is the reason for it? He is stained with grief. Stained with grief means he is grief stricken, right? Because he saw all his companions die, because he saw the death of his father. So he seems to be grief stricken. He seems to be in a very sad and sorrowful mood. He seems to be in a very gloomy mood. And so that is why he is looking a bit pale and he is looking a bit unwell. Thou mightest call him a goodly person. And you can call him a handsome person, right? He can be called a handsome person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find. He has lost his companions and he is moving. Strays about means he is loitering. He is wandering on this island from one place to another in search of his companions. Means he has lost his people and he is searching for them on this island. So that is why he is under a lot of sorrow. He's in a melancholic mood, and so that is why he seems to be pale. But he can be called a handsome man. He appears to be a goodly person. Goodly person means a handsome, good-looking man. You can call him. Miranda, I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble. So Miranda says that no, I cannot call him a human. Why? Because he definitely seems to be some godlike creature. Why? Because I have never seen in nature, on earth, though Miranda has not seen many human beings, no one besides her father. Right? So she says, because it's like impossible for me to believe that anything natural can ever be so noble, can ever have a such beautiful, such godly appearance. So I cannot believe it. He definitely is not a human being. He is some divine creature. He looks to be so beautiful that no human being can be so good looking, so godlike, so divine. Prospero, aside. It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts. I use this as for you. So he says that now Prospero moves to one side. Means again, he moves to one corner of the stage and he utters these. Means these things are not heard by Miranda. He moves away from Miranda and then he says these lines. He says, it goes on, I see, and my soul prompts it. And my soul prompts it means as my soul desired, as was prompted by my soul, as was wished by my heart. Means the things are going the way I want it. The things are going the way I desire. Means my spell is working, my magic is working, and because now Prospero can sense that Miranda has already started liking Ferdinand. She is also completely lost in his beauty. So Prospero is very happy about it, and he says that now my spell is working, right? Everything is happening the way I want it, the way I desire. So I am happy. Spirit, find spirit. I'll free thee within 2 days for this. So, and because it was the effort of Ariel also, right? Ariel was someone who brought Ferdinand to that place, right? So Prospero is very happy with Ariel, and so he says that the spirit, you are such a fine spirit, you are such a wonderful spirit, my Ariel, that I will free you within 2 days of this. That because of this deed which you did, because of the way you carried out this task, I will free you within 2 days. Trust me, my wonderful spirit, you will acquire your freedom within 2 days from now. Ferdinand, most sure the goddess on whom these heirs attend. So now Ferdinand is also mesmerized by Miranda's beauty, right? Ferdinand also finds Miranda to be very beautiful, right? See, the magic had its impact on both of them, right? It was Prospero's plan to make Ferdinand fall in love with Miranda and Miranda fall in love with Ferdinand. So Ferdinand will also be attracted towards Miranda, but obvious. So when Ferdinand beheld Miranda, when he saw Miranda for the first time, most sure the goddess. So what does he say? He says, this is definitely the goddess on whom these airs attend. These airs attend means for whom this music. Here airs means the music. For whom this music was being played. I'm very sure that this lady who is standing in front of me, this girl who is standing in front of me, she is definitely the goddess of this island, and this music which was being played was for her only. What say? My prayers may know if you remain upon this island. Vouchsafe means I please grant my prayers. It means to give, to grant. Right? So he says that please grant my prayers. Prayers means please grant my request. May know if you remain upon this island. So he approaches Miranda and asks Miranda and says to Miranda that I request you, please grant my request. Please answer my questions. Please tell me whatever I want to know from you. And then he says that may know if you remain upon this island. So can you please tell me that do you live upon this island? Do you belong to this island? And that you will some good instruction give how I may bear. So he says that if you belong to this island, if you are the goddess of this island, I request you, I pray you that please tell me, please give me some instructions which I am supposed to follow upon this island. Please tell me, please acquaint me with the rules and regulations of how am I supposed to carry myself on this island. How am I supposed to behave upon this island? Please let me know. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder if you be made or no. So then he further says, and my prime request, my first request, but the thing which I want to know from you the most, right? My greatest request to you is, which I do last pronounce, which I am speaking in at the end, right? Which I wanted to tell you at the beginning, which is the most important thing which I want to know from you, though I am speaking it at the end, though I am telling you, I am asking you at the end, is what is his prime request? Oh, you wonder if you be made or no. Means, oh, you wonderful creature, are you the creature who has been made by God? Are you someone who has been created by God? And are you married or unmarried? Made means an unmarried woman. So this is what Ferdinand wants to know from Miranda. That are you married or you are still a maid? Means are you unmarried? So Miranda replies, no wonder, sir, but certainly a maid. So Miranda says that no, I'm not any wonderful creature. I'm not some divine creature. I am a very normal human being, but certainly a maid. But yes, I am still unmarried, right? I am a maid. I'm not a wonderful creature. I'm not someone who possesses divine power, but I am definitely unmarried. Ferdinand. My language, heavens, I am the best of them that speaks this speech. Were I but where it is spoken. See, Miranda talks in the language which is spoken in Milan, the English which is spoken in Milan, right? Because she has been taught by whom? She has been taught by Prospero. And Prospero must have taught him his language, the language which is spoken in Milan. So when Ferdinand listens to Miranda, means when Miranda replies Ferdinand's question, right, answers his request, then Ferdinand says, my language, heavens, oh my God, she's talking in my language. I am the best of them that speaks this. I am the noblest human being who talks in this language, who is able to speak this language. But where it is spoken. So I should have been in Milan where it is spoken. Means this language, see, every place has a different accent. Take for example English. English is not spoken in the same accent all over Europe, right? People have different accents. Even Hindi also. So every language, you change the place and the same language is spoken in a different accent. So that is what Ferdinand is saying, that I am one of the noblest speakers of this language which he is speaking. But where it is spoken. So I should have been in the place where this language is spoken. I speak this language so well that it seems that I belong to the place where it is spoken. That is Milan. But this girl standing in front of me, this wonderful lady who is standing in front of me, she is talking in the same language. Prospero, how the best? What wert thou if the king of Naples heard thee? So now Prospero interferes and he says, how the best? How can you say that you speak this language the best and you are the best speaker? Here the best meaning means the noblest. How can you say that you are the noblest? If, what wert thou if the king of Naples heard? What will happen to you if the king of Naples comes here and he listens to what you are saying? See, Prospero behaves in a manner as if he is completely unaware of the fact that Ferdinand is the prince of Naples, right? He's talking to Ferdinand in this manner that he doesn't know who Ferdinand actually is, right? So he says, you know what will happen to you, in what problem you will land yourself if the king of Naples comes to know about this statement that you are standing here and calling yourself the noblest, right? Once he comes to hear these words, what will be your position in front of him? You who are standing here and calling yourself to be the noblest. Ferdinand, a single thing as I am now, that wonders to hear these people. So now I am like a solitary wretch. I am like a lonely creature who is standing in front of you and who is listening to you talking about Naples. Means you are talking about Naples. And I am the only creature who is present here, right, who belongs to Naples. Because his father has died. I mean, he believes that his father is dead now, right? He does hear me, and I wish that wherever he is, he must be listening to whatever I am saying. So you don't worry about it. My father, wherever he is, though I am left solitary, I am all by myself here. I'm a lonely creature, and I'm very surprised to see you talking about Naples. Is this abandoned island? You who belong to this abandoned island, how do you know about Naples? And how is this girl talking in the language which is spoken in Milan? This is really surprising. He does hear me. So I know wherever he is, he must be listening to what I am saying. And that he does, I believe. myself am naked, who with mine eyes never seen it, have beheld the king, my father. So, and I'm listening. My father, wherever he is, he must be listening to whatever I'm saying, and that is the reason, because he does hear me from somewhere else. That is the reason why I am crying, why I am weeping. So I saw my father with my own eyes. Means with my own eyes, I have seen my father die in a wreck. The king my father wrecked. The king my father wrecked means I saw the ship on which he was present wrecked in front of my eyes. Never since at ebb. So from that time, since that time, when I saw my father drown into the sea, since that time, I have been weeping, and the tears, they have not stopped flowing from my eyes. They are continuously flowing from my eyes. Since at ebb means they have been continuously flowing from my eyes. From the time I saw my father drown into the means I've been crying. My eyes have not dried. Miranda, a lack for mercy. So now Miranda starts feeling pity on Ferdinand. And she says, alas, it's really a pity that your father died, Ferdinand. Yes, faith and all is lost. The Duke of Milan and his brave son being slain. So he says, yes, trust me. Faith means trust me. Please believe me. It's not only my father who died in that wreck. All his lords, means all his noblemen, all his courtiers, they also died. And along with them, the Duke of Milan, that is Antonio, right? He's talking about Antonio. The Duke of Milan and his brave son, and his son, that is the son of Antonio, being twain. Being twain means the other two who were perished, the other two who were drowned. So he says that trust me, it's not only my father who was drowned, along with my father, all the noble men who were on board that ship, they also perished, and along with them, Antonio, that is the Duke of Milan, and his son. They were the other two. Twain means two. They were the other two who were also destroyed, who were also killed. Prospero, aside. Is there any problem till here? We'll continue further
I can't see
tomorrow.
anyone is